Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast here at New Beginnings InTitled with New Beginnings. I am Kelly, and today we have our first special guest for this new special edition that we are having in our podcast called New Year's, New People, New Guest.
Nice.
And today I am here with Mayra. Mayra, please introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Hi, everybody. Well, Mayra Cordero. I am a realtor here in the state of Florida. I have been in Florida for, 23 years. So come originally from New York, but I guess now you can say I'm a Floridian. I'm a Floridian, but love my New York people, which is one of my specialties, is helping families relocate to the state of Florida. Nice. I'm trying to bring everybody to the Sunshine State, and definitely helping first-time buyers. Those are the two passions that I have. I love helping people. I come from a 20-plus year career in hospitality, customer service, Amazing. Sales, negotiation. So I have a little bit of everything, but my passion is helping people. My passion is guiding people through the steps of home ownership and making sure that everybody reaches that home ownership dream.
That's beautiful. That is amazing. And so you mentioned you came from New York.
Yes.
Right? So I want to dig a little bit into your background. So you came from New York, and when you moved from New York, were you already a real estate agent, or you then started that part afterwards?
Yeah, no. When I came from New York, to be very transparent, I came to New York with two girls, single mom.
To Florida.
To Florida. I'm sorry. I came from New York with two girls as a single parent, and basically, like many people that relocate, I was looking for a fresh start. I came here, I was unemployed. I was actually disabled. And little by little, I started to kind of find my way back into the workforce, right?
Nice.
And that's where I started with a timeshare company that I thought was going to be a temporary job, and it ended up being a 20-plus year career.
Wow.
So that was my initiation here to the state of Florida, and how I kind of made that transition from New York here. Years happened through there. I started kind of just growing into who I am, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I was a lot younger then, and through the years just started to develop just a passion for sales, but not like your upfront aggressive sales, but more like the customer service sales, the behind the scenes sales, and helping people in any way possible. Yes, I was doing it through corporate America, through timeshare, but at the same time, I started on a network marketing, which that is probably where I bloomed into the passion of people and getting out there and breaking through those, uncomfortable moments and breaking through comfort zones. And I think I learned a lot. I had great mentors, and little by little, I started meeting new people. And I always knew I wanted to have my own business. I just didn't know where exactly that would be. And little by little, I got introduced to real estate, and I loved it. I loved it because I was able to use my background in service that I brought from New York, and then the sales part that I learned here. And then just naturally loving to help people, I felt, okay, what better way to do it, and getting people into something that they actually want. That they actually are desiring. And some people think they can never achieve. And I think that my first closing, where I saw that family tell me, thank you, I didn't think this was possible.
That changed
it all for me. And I said, this is what I want to do. And here I am 8 years later.
Nice. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So you would say, how many families off the top of your head have you helped so far?
Oh my God. Let's see. The last 8 years, I started as a part-time realtor. In the last 3 years, I went full force. I left my career. I don't know. I would say at least 75, 80.
Nice.
In the last 8 years.
That's beautiful.
I haven't counted. I should.
I know. That's what people always say. They're like, how many closings or how many? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Like, you're so busy, and you're just helping people, doing all these other things that you don't ever really sit down to count those numbers, right? And then also as realtors, you change software systems, pretty often. There's always new technology and things. So those things kind of get lost, I guess you can say, right? And so now you focus on helping people relocate.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
But are there any other, do you also work with investors?
Yes.
Do you work with specifically first time home buyers? Or are you, would you say, versatile?
I guess you could say I'm a little versatile.
Okay.
You know, I think as a realtor, you know, you start developing your niche, is what they say,
Yeah.
or what your specialty is. I can't say there's one area that I prefer or the other. I will help anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and my business, gratefully so, my business is, I could say 95% is all referral based.
Nice.
So thankfully, my family, my friends, my past clients have been a huge support system, and that's where I get my business. So when I say I help anyone, I help anyone. So
Yeah.
if I have a first-time buyer that can't afford to get into homeownership right now, they have to rent, I will help that family.
Yeah.
A lot of people shy away from the renters. I don't. I have had so many families convert from they can't buy now, we put them on a rental for a year. And in that year,
They're ready.
I'm with them because I'm like, we are not signing a second lease. At the end of this lease, you are going to be ready to buy
Yeah.
your house, and we get them to that point. And I think that, you know, that's where I go, you know, I want to help people. So if you're a first time buyer, don't know what to do, you need that guide in hand, I'm your
Yeah.
girl. You are somebody moving from New York City, especially, or up north. Listen, who better than me? I came here 23
Yeah.
years ago. My family has
You
come
can
here.
relate.
I can relate. I know, and I tell people from up front, are you ready for this, 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 and this? Yes. Okay, then you're ready. You can
Yeah.
come. And even once they get here, it is a shock because it's a little different from New York. But, you know, I kind of guide them. And even after the sale is done, a lot of the families, I'm still invited to the birthdays.
Of
I go-
course. You create those relationships.
Yes. I even get invited to go eat sancocho.
No, I love sancocho. Those are the clients we need here.
Yes. So, you know, so to me, it's building that rapport where it's not just that one time.
Yeah.
And it's not just them, it's them, their kids, their family members, their friends. We're going to create that relationship where I'm not just your realtor. Now
Yeah.
I'm part of your family. Now we're a package deal. We're in this together, and it's a long term.
Yeah.
And I love that. And then in the last, I would say, two years, I have also had a lot of investors that I've been working with. I've seen so many opportunities of flips that my investors have done, and that's kind of opened a whole new dynamic for me because I'm passionate about that.
Yeah.
I'm looking to do my first flip because I'm seeing this. So I'm learning as I
Along the
go.
way.
I'm learning as I go. So first time buyer, relocating, second home buyer, looking for an
Investor.
investment property. Listen, I have a little experience in each one. I love learning. That's one of the things. I don't shy away from learning. I don't shy away from working with somebody to learn something that I don't know. You know, and if there's something that I don't know, I'm not just going to give you a half answer. I'm going to go and make sure I get the right information and collaborate correctly. You know,
course.
so yeah.
I think, you know, especially with real estate and the times too, times change,
Yes.
right? So I think that as an agent, that's something great that we get to see about you is that, you know, there are your moments where you have a lot of investor because of rates or because a pandemic or because something happens, whatever it is. And then 2 years later, you're full retail.
Yeah.
Right? You're full just helping first-time home buyers. Or then you have those snowbirds because it's winter and they're coming to buy properties.
Yeah.
So with time too, I feel like, you know, the career kind of switches a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the beauty of real estate. And something else that I also notice about you too is, you know, you have that empathy. And I think as a real estate agent, it's very important to have that empathy because people will connect with you. They'll be like, you are family, come over for the sancocho, you know, and they'll recommend you to everyone else. Or like you said, you know, I've had a friend who I helped him with a rental 4 or 5 years ago, and he calls me, he's like, Kelly, you helped me. You know, when no one helps me, you helped me.
Absolutely.
Can you help me again? Can you guide me? So having that heart and that empathy definitely gets you a long way. And I
Absolutely.
think that's something that sets you apart, which is beautiful. But I know as many things are beautiful, what has been your biggest horror story in real estate? Because everyone talks about the success.
Jeez.
So what's your most traumatizing real estate story?
One?
Well, yeah, I know, right? We have many here at the office, but I guess maybe one that struck you the most, that still till this day you're like, wow, that was crazy.
Okay, I guess, I mean, I wouldn't call it a horror story, but one that was very shocking, and actually, it really, it hurt me, I think, more than that family. But this, I guess, goes back a few years back. This was a very young couple that was referred as well, and everything started great. You know, I do the initial consultation, you know, kind of pre-qualifying them, make sure, what do you want, where's the income, but, you know, just doing all the questions we have to do to see, are they ready, are they almost ready, or are they just not ready? This family was ready based on the questions.
Yeah, based off the
questions,
the mini quiz.
Based on their answers, you know, they wanted new construction. That was their thing. So we looked for all used homes. Wasn't their thing. And when they started comparing at that point, I mean, we're talking a few years back, the market was a little different. So they saw that it was better off going into a new property, a new construction. So they wanted the incentives. Perfect. Let's go to new construction. I work with a lot of new construction partners. So I knew exactly where to take them. And we found the best inventory, the best deals for them. I say the best because we literally did. Okay. Where they were offering $15,000 in closing costs at that time, they were giving this family $18,000 in closing costs. That's how good the deal was. Price was reduced, so they caught a good inventory deal.
And that's hard with new builds, by the way, to get a price reduction, because usually these corporate, I call them corporate America, people are very like, this is what it is, take it or leave it, because we have a list of other people that want.
Exactly.
So they really don't have room for negotiation.
They definitely had a great deal, and everything was going smooth. Everything was going very smooth as, you know, the steps in process. The home was getting built. I think it was like 4 months for it to be completed. You know, they went through the pre-qualification process. Everything was submitted. They were pre-approved, you know, but conditionally, right? Because anything can change from now to closing. So, you know, questions were always asked. Questions was always confirmed. Remember, everything you tell me in the beginning, everything you put on your application
is there.
Has to be true. You cannot
lie.
You know, and I'm not going to lie for you.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, probably the saddest transaction that I had, because make long story short, everything was great. The home was, I think, maybe 2 weeks from being completed. So obviously everything was in process. They needed final docs. Some things were missing. You know, that's just what it was.
Normal.
They were requesting certain documents from the borrower, and they refused to provide it.
Oh, no.
I was surprised. Here I am, like, all right, we're on the finish line.
And it's been months of this process.
It's been months. We asked for it. They're missing one more thing. They failed to provide it. They failed to cooperate in providing it, and come to find out that, you know, they had miscommunicated something on their application.
Oh, no.
And they thought just because they were conditionally pre-approved, that they were good to go, and that would never be asked for again. And they were told very clear from the beginning, everything you put here, you have to be able to support in documentation to the very end, because we want to make sure that this is still good to the very end, right? Your credit is you know, all that has to be intact until the very end. You're getting money. Somebody's lending you money to purchase your home.
Yeah, they don't want to take the risk.
That's a lot of money. The bank wants to make sure that, you know, what you're saying is legit. So it's all right. Fortunately, because of that, they almost lost their deposit, because at that point, remember, we were already past that 30-day threshold, or that time frame that they had allotted to you know, get all this done. And we had to go back to bat. You know, I was talking to the lender, which was from the builder, and, you know, my rep at the new construction site, and we were doing our best. I spoke to the family. They just unfortunately did not understand. I tried my best. They closed out, they shut down. They just thought that they could just do whatever, and things don't work like that.
Yeah.
Things don't work like that. And with me, it won't work like that. If we're doing something, we're going to do it right from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut corners. I'm not going to take shortcuts. And I'm definitely not going to do something just because you say. If it's not right, it's not right. And unfortunately, they chose to not continue with the purchase, almost jeopardizing a lot of money that they put down. I think almost like $12,000.
Okay.
Thankfully, I was able to go back, talk to the corporate of the new construction, and God is our witness that we did everything possible, and they were able to get their money back.
Wow.
And they didn't.
From a new construction, which is crazy.
They did not get the property, but thankfully, I did have a good relationship with that builder. I had, at that time, a lot of business back to back with that. So
they
this
knew
was just
your
that one
track record.
This was just that one and it was a very young couple. So I tried to, as much as I can, help them. And I told them, listen, I am so sorry that you don't see the benefit of all this, but at the end of the day, those are the conversations that hurt, where we have to part ways and go, I was able to help you get your money back, but at this point we're just not
we're
a
not
fit.
compatible.
We're not a fit, and I wish you the best.
Yeah.
And again, it was tough for me because this was a personal referral.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, I was even extra, like from
you
how
went
I
above and beyond.
I was
than
even
what you
extra,
usually-
and I felt really, really bad because there were 2 weeks from closing.
Oh my God.
2 weeks after waiting months.
Yeah.
This was their first home. It was a young couple with a growing family. It hurt me. It really, literally, Kelly, I think there was like 2-3 nights that I was devastated, as if I was the one going through it.
It was your fault.
I just felt so bad. You know, I was like, oh my God, how do I help them understand this?
And that's the thing, you know, sometimes like the only thing we can control is ourselves.
Yes.
And you know, that's the tough part about this industry is sometimes no matter how much you explain something to someone, because we get it all the time, you know, they're like, but I don't get it, or this or that, or they just like shut down, right? And I feel like sometimes, you know, just to back up and to cover all my, like, you know, all my details, I always like to put everything in writing. I always like, once we get off the phone, hey, as per our phone call, you know, put it in writing too, like the recap. You know, because then you don't want to feel like it's your fault at the end of the day, ever. But I feel like when things like that happen, you always still feel like some type of like, you know, little thing in your heart, like, what could I have done better? What could I, you know, what if this, what if that? But again, we can only control our controllables.
Yes.
And this is something I always tell my boyfriend. I'm like, we can't control what other people, you know, we're investors as well. And sometimes our partners or this, or, you know, can be difficult. And, you know, we can't control other people's thoughts or the way people understand things. We can only control, you know, ourselves.
It's very true.
That's the hard part about this industry, you know, having that mental strength.
Yes.
To
but
continue
we learn
through.
But
Exactly.
we definitely learn, for sure.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to leave you with this last question. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be?
Anywhere in the world right now.
Yes.
Only because it's on the top of my head. I would be in Bali.
Oh, Bali! That is my favorite place in the whole world.
I would definitely be in Bali and relaxing. I see a beach in front of me.
Bali
see
is beautiful.
Relaxation, total disconnect.
Yes.
Even though I love posting, but I would totally be in the disconnect and just absorbing.
Have you been to Bali yet?
No, that's why.
All right,
I see
so
myself there.
We're gonna put it in our manifestation. We have a manifest storyboard event coming up.
Yes.
And we're gonna put it on there for you.
Yep.
Because Bali, I've been to Bali. I was there, Jesus, time flies, 3 years ago. And it was one of the life-changing trips for me.
That's what I've heard, and that's why I want to go.
So it humbled me.
Yep.
Real quick. So for me, it was beautiful. It was, you know, just everything, the scenery, like the people were so nice. I got to wash an elephant, which was super cool.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I went to the monkey jungle, which is crazy. Like, you're actually in a monkey's world. They're not.
Like, that's their place.
It's their place, yeah. I saw a lady's passport get taken from her neck because she wore it, you know, so they say, like, don't bring any valuables, walk in, like, with nothing. So you're in their world. Just, there's so much to do.
Wow.
I went for 2 weeks, and I'm like, I did nothing. You know, I need to go back. So, you know, maybe we could go together.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Maybe we could go together. Maybe we could do a client appreciation party.
Oh my God, that would be great. You can sign me up for that one.
Well, Mayra, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for sharing your story and, you know, your success and unfortunately your sad story, but we always want to know the good and the bad, right? Because everyone always likes to sugarcoat everything, but we like to keep it real here.
Absolutely.
So I will be sure to share your information in this video. So, you know, if you love to work with Mayra, she is wonderful. She, you know, works with us here at New Beginnings, and we've had the honor to conversate with her for her social media stuff and to be able to help her clients as well. And, you know, she's great at what she does. So thank you so much, and make sure you follow, like, subscribe, comment, do all of the social media stuff in order for us to get more.
Thank you for having me.
More viewings. Thank you for being with us. Take care.
Take care.